Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Off the Top Sports TV. I'm Michael Sperber, joined by the Beast, Josh House. Answer me this, Josh. You fired up?
Breathing fire right now.
You're breathing fire. I like to hear that. Off the Top is brought to you by ShowtimeForFree.com. Please sign up to ShowtimeForFree.com and enjoy your stay and contribute a post while you're at it. Guests are limited to 50-page views per day, so just sign up. It's free, harmless, and enters you with chances to win free PS3 360 games and PSN points and live gold cards. Sign up to ShowtimeForFree.com for all your website entertainment.
Also, do not forget to like Off the Top on Facebook, and you get a shout out on the show, so press the like button.
With the top babe of the week, this week's number one stunner is Adriana Lima. Adriana Lima wows at Victoria's Secret show 2 months after giving birth. Adriana Lima is more of a superwoman than a supermodel. What do you think of Adriana Lima, Josh?
If you don't like Adriana Lima, I don't think you like women.
Well, she's all the woman you could handle, Josh. Marko Jaric.
I wouldn't mind handling her.
Marko Jaric?
Still with him?
Guy's got something that's we
Lithuanian,
don't
right?
have. All right, Josh, football. Let's get to NFL. Let's get to the Thursday night football game. Peyton Manning leads Broncos past the Raiders 26-13.
Not a big shocker there. Raiders suck. They're pretty embarrassing these days.
Are there Raiders ever going to figure it out?
Just lose, baby, the new motto.
Denver's efficient. They got a chance. They keep playing better and better. Peyton's starting to use those weapons. Decker, Noshawn, Morris. Is it Morris? Demarius?
Demarius, there you go.
Yeah.
Tammy and Dreesen, the tight ends. Finding both of them.
They got a shot. Do you think they got a legitimate shot to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Peyton Manning is going to keep you in every game. He's not going to make too many mistakes usually.
Is Peyton Manning going to win his 5th MVP?
He's going to be right there. Him and Tom Brady fighting back and forth.
Well, there's no other names in there. Why don't you throw AP's name in the hat? We'll talk about that later.
AP could win everything this year. Comeback player of the year, MVP.
Raiders, another disappointment. Not getting it done. What about, we got games today, Sunday lineup. Another tragedy in NFL football. The Dallas Cowboys practice squad linebacker Jerry Brown was killed in a one-car accident Saturday, and teammate Josh Brent was charged with intoxication manslaughter. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, first of all, you look at it that another tragedy in the NFL, another life lost. But then you really dig into this story. It's not just two guys that are playing together in the Cowboys. They went to, I think it was Illinois together. They roomed together out in Dallas right here. I mean, the Brent who died was on the practice squad. Brown was starting nose guard.
Brown was the one that died.
Oh, Brown.
Brent.
Yeah. Vice versa, right? So Brown died, and Brent was a starter and nose guard. I mean, those guys were probably boys. They're probably best friends on the team. So that's got to be pretty hard on the team. And well, once again, Cowboys came out and won the game, just like Kansas City last week. Pulled together, during time of tragedy.
Beat the surging Bengals.
Yeah, they did.
So maybe
AJ Green dropped that game. They should have caught a touchdown pass. I'm sure some fantasy fans were pretty upset about that.
Very rare of AJ Green. I consider him an elite, not just a good wide receiver, an elite wide receiver in the NFL.
Oh, he's top 5.
Top 5, yeah. The Eagles end a 8-game losing skid. 23-21.
Foles had a pretty solid game. 381 yards passing, two passing touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown.
Do you think they can get it figured out? I mean, it's a little too little too late, don't you think?
Well, I mean, they found Bryce Brown as a pretty solid backup. He didn't have a good game this week, but he's been killing it lately.
I think Bryce Brown's going to be a franchise running back for the next 5 years over there. Barring injury, and maybe if he can tuck that ball away. Yeah. That guy's a stud. Number 1 player out of high school.
Reed's still gone, though, right?
Reed's definitely gone. I'm thinking he comes to San Diego. There's a lot
of places that are going to want Andy Reid.
Yeah,
we talked about
but
that.
he needs a change.
They did beat Tampa Bay though. That's a big loss for Tampa Bay. They're hoping to
It is a big loss.
keep their playoff hopes alive. It's not looking good now.
No.
I think they had 3 losses in a row after like 4 wins in a row, something like that.
They're inconsistent. They haven't taken that next step. They're like a fringe playoff team. Could make it. First round exit. They're not doing any damage late in the playoffs.
All right, here's not a shocker to me, but to most of the public, it was. Panthers supposedly stunned the Falcons. We talked about this before. Falcons they're a good team. They've had a lot of close games this year. Still don't have a running back they're set on. I think Jaquez Green might be taking over the starting running back role here pretty soon, just because he gives them a little bit of explosiveness. Burner Turner is no longer Burner. He's pretty slow.
He's just Turner.
He's dragging a trailer behind him nowadays. Those
He's a
huge
big
thighs.
boy, though. He's a big boy.
His thighs are bigger than most people's waists.
Should be able to get you some goal line touchdowns.
But he's too slow out of the gate.
Can't hit the hole hard enough.
No, not anymore.
Cam Newton came to play just as my fantasy season ends. My number 1 pick, 23 for 35, 287 yards, 2 touches, 9 carries, 116 yards, a touch. That dual threat.
Shout out to all the fantasy players out there. I know a lot of your guys' fantasy playoffs started this week. I know I have in 3 leagues.
Did you win?
3 leagues. I had 3 teams that made the playoffs, and I had 3 victories this week. Well, pretty much they're all set now, victories. So
No Monday night games. Nothing still in limbo.
We're comfortably in control of those matchups. We're not too worried about it, but 3-0, that'd be pretty good. I'll start my my fantasy website next season. I think charging by the minute.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
get that thing going. You're an entrepreneur.
You see.
Use that knowledge for good.
We'll put some tips out on the website.
It's the
here.
holiday season. Giving, sharing is caring. Okay.
OffTheTopSportsTalk.com
Yeah.
will soon be up and running. It's in the works right now. Shout out.
All right. Now we got Vikings Bears. The aforementioned Adrian Peterson. 31 carries, 154 yards, 2 touchdowns. Vikings over Bears, 21-14. This guy is ridiculous.
He defies the laws of nature. You're not supposed to be bigger, faster, and stronger after a torn ACL, MCL, whatever he had though. He tore his knee up.
Tore his
bad.
whole knee.
And from someone who can speak from personal experience of the torn ACL, it's not something you're supposed to be able to come back from that quickly and just dominate. Especially running back position, the cuts, lateral cuts, and stuff you have to do. It's pretty crazy and pretty amazing to see that.
He said he's not looking for 2,000. He's looking for
He's trying
Eric
to go for the
Dickerson.
record.
Yeah,
I
he's
like
looking for
that.
the record. This guy is a beast.
He's not scared. I mean, the whole NFL's scared of him right now. They don't want to tackle him.
The guy's bigger, faster, and stronger than everybody. And he kind of reminds me of a little show that I saw on the Evil 4-letter, 30 for 30.
Bo Jackson.
Vincent Bo Jackson.
You're comparing AP with Bo Jackson?
Would you not? That's a
great-
good
great
comparison. Thank
That
you.
is a great comparison.
I mean, they're both bigger, faster, and stronger.
I mean, Bo was like an all-timer. I mean,
Big-
the legend of the 4-1-40, whatever it was.
He's a legend.
He's the freakest athlete I've ever
If
seen.
you guys get a chance to
period.
see that 30 for 30, Bo Jackson,
Check it out.
definitely. Brandon Marshall
I know-
came up big,
I
10
heard-
catches. What's up?
I heard one of the announcers talking about today, Lance Briggs trying to go real low on AP because he didn't want to come take him up top. That's how bad AP is.
You don't want to go high on
And
him.
linebackers are trying to go low on you. That's pretty scary. That means you're a pretty bad dude.
Brandon Marshall in a losing effort, 10 catches, 160 yards, touchdown. Another physical specimen.
He's a freak when it comes to playing wide receiver and catching the ball. I'll give him that. Not the best off the field guy, but
Kind of a head case. He's kind of like bipolar. I've seen him in interviews, and he's real composed and acts normal.
yeah,
And
you
thoughtful.
see him on the blotter. You're not too surprised
And
though.
then
You
you
know?
see breaking news. This guy gets Brandon Marshall arrested.
beating his
not
girlfriend in public.
not
you
a
know,
big surprise.
getting stabbed by his girlfriend at his house. All kinds of allegedly.
Mark Sanchez and the Jets stay in the playoff hunt. They're really dangerous
They're
in
winning.
the playoffs.
They're winning despite their quarterback. It's pretty bad.
Sarcasm.
He didn't throw a touchdown today again. Sanchito,
Sanchito.
not very good. Time to draft a quarterback, Jets.
There's not too many out there, are there? Barkley?
That's not the best year for quarterbacks.
Last year was the best year for quarterbacks.
Yeah, they messed up. They should have sold the farm last year to get somebody, one of those rookies.
All right. Colts, Titans. Andrew Luck, 16 for 34, 196 yards. Colts rally again, 27-23.
Take the Colts on the money line at home. They do not lose very often at home. They play unbelievable at home. They were losing that game pretty handily today, and they just rallied back furiously to come back and win that.
Are they going to make some noise in the playoffs?
I don't think they're going to have home games, so I think it's going to be tough for them, so, going on the road. But if it's a dome game, I wouldn't go against Mr. Luck. He showed against Detroit he can win the game on the last play of the game. So
if there's any rookie quarterback I'd ever want with the ball in their hands in the playoffs in a tight spot, Andrew Luck. That guy is clutch. He's so composed.
He's been throwing a little bit more picks lately.
He's shown he's a rookie a little bit, but he's still aggressive.
He hasn't shown that very often this year.
Has he ever lost confidence? No.
How is that? The guy is never going to lose confidence.
The guy's legit. Chargers.
The Superchargers are back.
The Superchargers, Norvell keep his job over the Steelers, 34-24?
No, him and A.J. Smith are gone.
Norvell's not a very good coach.
He's a great coordinator.
Might be a good offensive coordinator, but not a good coach. Phillip Rivers, 21 for 41, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. A little Phillip Rivers sighting.
Denarius Thomas, or Denarius, is that what it is? He was killing it today. I have him on my fantasy team. He saved me. 2 touchdowns. Going off.
Ben Roethlisberger back, 22 for 42, 285 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Everybody in Steeler Nation thought he was going to be the savior, come back.
He's not the savior. He's human.
Beat San Diego. He looked human, although Mike Wallace had a heck of a game today.
He put up some decent numbers, but, he
wasn't quite ready to come back.
He wasn't ready to come back, but they weren't going to put the 37-year-old batch back out there. They got their 1 win out of him. And what about the Browns win their 3rd straight? They roll the Chiefs. The Chiefs off their emotional victory following the tragedy of, was it Belcher?
Yeah.
Devon Belcher.
Trent Richardson looked solid again. They had some special teams touchdowns. Cleveland's not that bad. They're looking all right to me. They're going to get better.
Browns beat the Chiefs 30-7. What do you think of Trent Richardson? He's an interesting player. He's a beast in college.
I mean, nowadays I'm not a big fan of taking running back first round, but he was one out probably would have been willing to risk it on.
Roll the dice on?
That guy benches 500-something pounds.
He's a weight room
squats like
legend.
700-800. Oh, yeah. He's from Alabama. He's tough.
Jamal Charles, another guy coming back from a serious knee injury. 18 carries, 165 yards, 1 touch. In a losing effort.
Jamal Charles did have some nice stats today.
All right, the RG3 Andrew Luck debate continues. He gets hurt, like I told you.
Did you see his knee today? Whiplash on that?
Luckily, sprained right knee. Nothing too serious.
No, the MRI said everything was nothing was torn. So good to hear. Want to see RG3 playing as much as possible. Lock of the week last week, I believe, was Washington and Johnny football. So
the household lock of the week.
That's correct.
Did you get it? What are you, 6-1?
Something like that. We're doing pretty well.
All right, we'll touch on that later on in the show. The 49ers, you won this battle. Colin Kaepernick, 18 for 23, 185 yards, 6 carries, 53 yards touch. They beat the Dolphins, not saying much, 27-13. Is Colin Kaepernick your starter?
For the 49ers, I would keep him in there and just hopefully he goes through his rough patches quickly and by the playoffs is ready to go.
They're going to be rough patches.
It's the 53 yards rushing is why he's the starter. It's the same
thing
he did
bring
last
a dual
week.
threat.
He got him into, they were losing. They got him into field goal, range last week with a 50-yard run at the end of the game. Alex Smith isn't going to do that for you. Granted, he hasn't put up numbers lately where you're saying he's so much better throwing the ball that he has to be in there, but he's always got that. He adds that extra dimension with running the ball, and he's 6'5". He scares you with the zone option read. So I would keep him in there, my quarterback.
So if Kaepernick doesn't get to the Super Bowl, is it a failure? Is it the wrong decision? Alex Smith got him to the semis 1 game before the Super Bowl.
I'd say it's not a wrong decision because you need to see what this kid brings to the table now.
Can't you see what he brings to the table next year? Alex Smith's proven.
Hey, this is the NFL, which means not for long, which means they're not going to be good for that long maybe. That defense can get hurt real quick. So
That defense?
Anyone, you lose Patrick Willis or Alden Smith, all of a sudden they start sliding real quickly. So you got to strike now, see if the kid can do it for you. Alex Smith has proven he's not going to win everything.
He took you to the semis.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll go with Colin.
All right, we had a blowout.
You don't see this. I thought this was a college game. Sound like a college score.
Seattle blows out Arizona 58-0. Pete Carroll is sprinting up and down those sidelines.
How would you like to have Seattle as your fantasy defense today? They had a pretty decent day.
They did okay. Marshawn Lynch, he's a top 5 running back.
Oh, he's
top 3.
Consistent. The guys, yeah, he's top 3. I'd say right now.
Top 3: AP, Arian, Marshawn.
Right, yeah, I'd say right there, yeah.
That's coming off the top. 11 carries, 128 yards, 3 touchdowns. This guy's a beast.
They had like 5 or 6 rushing touchdowns today. If he had stayed in, he could have had a crazy day.
Yeah, he didn't even stay in. He got 11 carries.
The backup had 108 yards. I mean,
Robert Turbin, 20 carries, 108 yards, blowout. Arizona. Can we talk about Arizona and their coaching? How does Whisenhunt keep a job?
Yeah.
Andy Reid might want to go to Arizona. If they get a quarterback, they got a decent defense that gave up 58 points.
They got 4 quarterbacks, which means you don't have one.
You need one quarterback. They might go get Barkley or Geno Smith.
Maybe he likes Kolb. He wants to go back.
Hey, but those are you're rolling the dice with that. Manning, Eli throws 4 touchdowns as Giants kick the Saints 52-27.
Eli had a solid game, and it's just like we said before, how the Giants usually start out hot, and they towards the middle of the season they tend to fall off a little bit. I think Coughlin does it on purpose. I think he gets them started out real hot, screams and then let them relax a little bit on the guys, and then he uses that as I let you guys relax, see what happens when I don't stay on you, and then towards the end of the season just pushes the team, grinds them, and pisses them off enough that they play hard and hate him a little bit.
Right, I let you do it your way. Now we're gonna do it the Coughlin way.
Hey, by the way,
pissed off military.
By the way, 2 out of the last 3, it works.
All right, David Wilson, you heard of him?
Not before the last week or 2.
All right, team record for total yards 327, including 227 in return yards, 100 yards from the line of scrimmage.
What college did you go to?
Don't know. Haven't heard of him. Who is this guy?
No,
are we going to be hearing more from him?
All I know is he's got some speed.
Coughlin doesn't mess around. If he sees somebody producing, he's going to get him the rock.
As long as they don't
Same
fumble.
with Eli, yeah. He keeps a hold of the rock, they're going to keep getting the rock.
327 yards. That's pretty impressive.
Very impressive.
227 returns and 100 yards rushing.
We had the Snow Bowl tonight.
Yeah,
Packers beat Lions 27-20.
The Pack is back?
Take NFC North lead after some struggles. You remember that Monday night game against Seattle? Got ripped off there. There's a couple. They went through a tough stretch, but they're starting to figure it out.
The Packers are starting to look like that team no one's going to want to play in the playoffs again. Clay Matthews still hurt. Jordy Nelson's out with a hammy. Greg Jennings didn't do much tonight, and yet they still beat Detroit. Aaron Rodgers, when he's hot, it doesn't matter who he's throwing the football to. You can ride that kid.
When he's hot, it's Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. When they're hot, when they're on their game, you can't beat them.
No,
they see the field too well.
Unless they're playing each other.
Pinpoint. Yeah,
and
exactly.
whoever's got the ball last.
All right, and last but definitely least, Bradford leads Rams to a 15-12 victory over the Bills.
I think the Rams should have felt a little disrespected being underdogs to the Bills after just beating San Francisco and should possibly almost beating them twice in 3 or 4 weeks there. So the Rams are starting to play ball right now. Their defense is playing pretty well.
Fisher's gotten them coached up.
He's a good coach. He's a great coach.
Pat Hayden, should he?
Run the football, play defense.
He's a USC alum. Should Pat Hayden give him a call?
Oh, if the SC could get Jeff Fisher, they should jump on that.
Are we still waiting for John Gruden?
Yeah, John Gruden's not coming.
All right, we'll give Lane one more year. Monday Night Football, we got a classic. We got anticipated this should be a classic.
Yeah,
we got the Texans, we got the Patriots.
Game of the week status.
Game of the week status. Monday night couldn't have worked out for Roger Goodell and the NFL powers any better. Who do you got?
I went back and forth on this game. I like the Patriots at home. 3.5 scares me, but I'm going to look. I know Joseph's back for the Texans this week. They got their cornerback, who's their stud, one-on-one lockdown receiver. Gronkowski's still out for the Patriots. But I'm thinking it's going to be a pretty
Yeah.
high-scoring game, be a little cold. Texans, I don't know if they like playing in the cold that much. So I'm going to take the Patriots. But I don't think I'd give the 3.5. I'd try to take Patriots money line or something. Patriots in a close, high-scoring game, I think.
Is J.J. Watt going to be a factor? I think the consensus defensive player of the year at this point.
J.J. Watt's
I don't
right
think he
there.
can do anything right now to not be the defensive player of the year.
Alden Smith get a few more sacks. You never know.
I don't know. I mean, just J.J. Watt. The sacks, was he at 14.5?
Something
To go along with
8 batted balls
the
or whatever it
batted
is.
balls. Yeah, that's the X factor. That's
Tackles.
what's setting this guy apart. And not only that,
Tackles for losses.
he does this in the interior.
Yeah,
He's not even on the end.
He's a big, angry defensive lineman. It's just
From
tearing
the
up
Badger
league.
State.
He made everybody forget about Ndamukong Suh this year, pretty much.
They did. Ndamukong who? Ndamukong Dirty?
Ndamukong was having a little conversation with Packers quarterback tonight, Rodgers.
And what do you have to say?
I don't know. He looked pretty cordial with him. It was nice.
Did he?
Yeah.
Is he trying to clean up that image? I mean, people aren't really too high on Ndamukong right now.
No, they're not.
Why? Guy's a beast.
That's because he kicks people in the nuts and, and tears all
The
the
nut
other
shot
offense.
is never
That doesn't win,
greeted
that
too
does not win a
kindly.
lot of fans,
Does not win too many fans. All right, well, that's the NFL. We got the Patriots Texans tomorrow. That's gonna be a big game. Everybody go watch that game and let us know. Like us on Facebook and let us know what you thought of the game. All right. Now, did you catch any of the college football games? College football awards?
Let's see. Like I said, we had Johnny Football winning the Heisman on our show last week.
Let's go back. Let's go back. Actually, who's the household lock of the week? You're
This
6
week
and
coming
1
up?
right now. Everybody, get your pad and paper out. Pen and paper. What's the lock of the week?
Right now, I'm looking at there's no spread right now because of injuries, I think. But Green Bay versus Chicago at Chicago, I'm leaning towards Green Bay pretty heavily on that one.
Is that the lock?
Let me see here. I think the lock may be Seattle -4 against Buffalo on the road at Buffalo. Seattle's playing ball right now. They are playing unbelievable, so I might want to ride them out.
All right. Open up those wallets, take the cash out, and get yourself a good-sized payday. The household lock of the week is in.
Hey, just in time for those Christmas presents,
Yes,
take care of all yours
All right. We had some college of football awards handed out.
with the house money, right? Pay for those
With
gifts
the
with the house
house
money.
money.
You like that?
We had some college football awards handed out. No surprise here. Heisman, Johnny Football.
The first freshman ever. That's pretty impressive considering, I mean, I said it before. Watching him, the last time I saw a freshman who looked that good to me was Adrian Peterson. And I thought he was right there, could have won the Heisman.
He's like a combo between Brett Favre and Doug Flutie.
He's
got that elusive, he makes plays.
Drops a snap, runs around, and then finds someone in the back of the end zone and stuff that you don't expect freshmen to be able to have the wits about him to do. Most guys panic. He doesn't panic. It doesn't seem like in a big moment, just sits there and just throws darts.
Then number 2, Manti Te'o. They're not going to give a defensive player the Heisman, are they?
It's the offensive, player of the year award, the
That's what it
quarterback or
is.
wide receiver, running back of the year.
The once front runner, Colin Klein, 3.
He's solid. We'll see what the NFL thinks of him by his draft stock.
Draft stock is not good.
He's too much of a runner for the NFL. I think
6th or
Not good
7th
enough on
round
him.
pick,
I can see that.
maybe a 4th.
Yeah, someone take a little flyer on him, 3rd, 4th round. after
Now
all
the best player in college football is the 4th. Got 4th in the Heisman voting, and that is Marquise Lee from USC.
maybe the most NFL ready player in college
Would
football.
he be the first pick if he was coming out right now?
I can see it. I don't see. I mean, that's like I said. We hear that scout say that he was a top 10 receiver in the NFL right now if he was in the NFL. So, that would be a pretty high pick in my book if you could do it.
And number 5 from the very impressive Ohio State Buckeyes, who are saddled with sanctions right now and don't get to play in a bowl game, is Braxton Miller.
Sanctions or not, it's hard to go undefeated over there at Ohio State. They always have some tough games. So that was Urban Meyer doing his thing.
Yeah, definitely. Urban Meyer can coach him up.
Glad he had no health issues this year. So
he's back. He was looking for a change. Took a year off. Got in the studio.
Are you saying it was a conspiracy? He just wanted out of Florida?
Yeah, he was worn down a little bit. And he was tired, but
too much golfing down there. And
you know he's gonna coach. And we got the Maxwell Award, Most Outstanding Player, Manti Te'o.
Pretty easy pick. 7, led the nation for picks.
Yeah, but if he's the most outstanding player, what's the Heisman?
That's
for the most outstanding player?
Maxwell, they give it to seniors.
Okay. Davey O'Brien, Johnny Manziel, deserved.
Yeah.
The Chuck Bednarik, a.k.a. the Ray Maluga, goes to the best defensive player, Manti Te'o, no surprise.
He earned all his awards this year.
Okay, the Biletnikoff, best wide receiver.
Marquise Lee, maybe the best player in the nation, athlete.
Best running back. Now, I had a little bit of a problem with this. The Doak Walker Award.
Who did you like?
Nation's top running back.
Monty Ball from Wisconsin. Overcame some off-the-field issues preseason to have a great year.
He got beat up preseason.
Supposedly.
He got jumped, but you think he should have gotten it? I was leaning towards Kenyon Barner over there from Oregon. 248 attempts this year, 1,624 yards, 21 touchdowns. And who could forget the USC game?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't like to give
321 yards against the SC.
Yeah, that was an unbelievable game. But I'm saying
that's a strong defense, right?
I think a lot of the voters are old school, and they think that some of these stats that the Oregon guys are getting are inflated because of the high tempo offense, the system.
Still,
just like Texas Tech was, or the Houstons. How if those players put up unbelievable numbers, it's because they're throwing it 75 times a game. So I mean, Monty Ball had a good year. Plus, he runs in the IBAC system, so the old school voters, the voters will like that.
All right, the Jim Thorpe Award for the best defensive back.
This is called I'm going to be drafted very high.
Yes, they always do. Jonathan Banks
best
from Mississippi State. 6
years in a row, I believe. It's been an SEC player. 6 years in a row, they've been drafted in the first round. So, if you get that award, you're getting paid.
All right, something you know about. Best interior lineman, left tackle, Outland Trophy Award winner Luke Jokel.
I haven't seen much on him. I have to do a little homework and check him out. But he's only a junior. Winning the Outland, I'm sure he'll be a high draft pick in the draft this year coming up.
The Lou Groza Award. The place kickers matter. They do matter. Don't. Yes, they do. They win games.
They only matter if they're really good and they make the kicks when they count in the game.
Caro Santos, Tulane. The Ray Guy, best punter, Ryan Allen, Louisiana Tech. And the John Mackey, nation's top tight end, goes to Tyler Eifert from Notre Dame. Notre Dame getting some awards.
Getting
some love for that undefeated season.
They got number 4, I heard, recruiting class coming in. They're going to be solid for years to come. Brian Kelly coaching it up.
All right, we're going to have a lot of college football to talk about in the coming weeks.
Bowl games are coming up.
Bowl games are coming up.
It's going to have some big bowl locks, I guarantee that. We're going to have some big bowl locks.
You heard it here first.
Take the over in that UCLA Baylor game. I'm already telling you, I don't care what it is. Take the over. It's going to be a lot of points scored in that one.
Is that a household lock right there?
I think so.
He thinks it is. Nice.
Holiday Bowl. Both teams will be partying probably before the game. So,
all right, let's get down to business. I've been kind of pissed off lately. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not happy.
The only good thing for the Lakers this last week was Kobe Bryant scored his 30,000th career point.
We're talking Los Angeles Lakers right now. And we're talking about very, very disappointing season. What a splash this offseason. We pulled in
everyone was fired
Steve Nash, the great Steve Nash. We pulled in for Andrew Bynum, the great Dwight Howard.
The Laker fans are spoiled.
And
everyone expects it wins right away.
So you think this is acceptable?
I expected it, yes.
I
expected us to struggle early on in the year. I said, take Take the points if you're going to bet against the Lakers for the first 30, 40 games. I guarantee you do real well in Vegas. We're not a team yet. Steve Nash is out yet. Not everyone knows the offense the way they should. I think when we have Nash back running the point, things will start to fall in place a lot better. I knew there was no way we were going to beat the Thunder the other night. There's no way I thought we could win that game.
That was a tough game. But
it was actually 6 points. Was a lot closer than I thought they'd be.
That was a tough game, but I have a lot more problems than that. This is like becoming a problem. This isn't just
it's looking like an effort thing sometimes.
Game.
That's the problem. Is it looks like an effort issue and not just.
We're not just losing games right now. We're 9-12.
It's embarrassing.
5.5 games back.
How many All-Stars we have on our team?
On a 2-game losing streak. 2-6 on the road, 7-6 at home.
We lost a 17-point lead to Houston the other night.
In our last 10 games, we're 3-7.
Who does Houston have on their team besides Harden?
This whole coaching situation's giving me a problem. Powell's knees, like we talked about before, this system that D'Antoni is trying to run is going to cause some injuries with these older players. Powell's not happy.
We need to get younger.
Powell's knees have tendonitis, quotes. He doesn't like the system. Kobe's playing too many minutes. He's scoring points.
He's 9 for 22 tonight, I think, shooting.
Leading the league in scoring 28.4 points a game, but he's taking a lot of shots, and his defense.
Suffering.
I haven't seen it suffer like this. So they gave up 114 to the Thunder. Which Thunder's a high-scoring team. It's a high-scoring game. It's going to be a high-scoring game, but in a losing effort, tonight against the Jazz at home, give up another 117 points. Was D'Antoni the right person for the job?
He wasn't the popular pick. We discussed that. We all wanted Phil Jackson, but I'm still not going to throw the guy under the bus and say the season's lost. Because I said, tell me at the end of the season we're going to the playoffs, then tell me the Lakers are a horrible team. And you might be able to say that, but I want to wait to see Nash back, everybody healthy, play 20 games together straight, where we all know what's going on.
I don't know if we're going to be seeing the same Steve Nash as we saw 5 years ago in
He's still going to push. He's still going to push
38 years old, coming off a broken leg. D'Antoni's counting on him. Slight fracture. They keep saying a week, and there's no sign of him. He can't run.
Time.
He's not going to be sharp when he comes back.
Was Steve Nash going to forget how to run the point?
Steve Nash is going to have to face Chris Paul. He's going to have to face Russell Westbrook, Tony Parker.
But he's not going to have to score 30
D. Rose, Rajon Rondo. I mean, we can go on and on.
He gets to throw the ball to a better version of
Amari?
Amari.
Yeah, but this is a worse version of Steve Nash. This is a 5-year-older Steve Nash, 38 years old.
We're not asking Steve Nash to go around and score 20 and 15 assists. We're asking him to score 10 or 12 and to throw 20 dimes. Yeah.
Yeah, but I want to see him play some defense. Is that going to happen? Because nobody's playing any help defense. We're giving up layups. We're giving up points. 117 points a game.
It was funny. It was funny to see Kobe.
This D'Antoni guy, I'm not sold. He's using Powell as his whipping boy.
Did you see Kobe and Dwight kind of arguing a little bit about the defense of the day?
They're going to be fine. They both respect each other. Kobe knows Dwight's a baller, and he is a baller. He can't shoot free throws, but the guy's got game. Guy's a beast. He's Superman. He's the best center in the game.
He's the best defensive center in the game.
Absolutely.
His offense
they don't give him the ball.
His offense
They need to give
lacking.
him the ball more.
He has no go-to moves really in the post.
They don't give him the ball
hook?
enough.
What does he got? The jump hook? He needs to work with Kareem for a year.
He's working on his left. His left looks good. They don't give him the ball enough. You know, the one bright spot on this team right now, other than Kobe scoring, is Meta World Peace.
He's been playing solid. He's looking like he's in a little better shape this year.
He's shooting the ball real well.
It's always nice to have Meta playing well because he usually doesn't. He's usually the fifth option on our offense, and when he goes to him, you say, no, don't shoot it.
That's a problem. When he's our second option to Kobe, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Dwight Howard needs to be involved, okay? If he gets some touches down low in the post, he's going to give you even more on defense. He's going to give you more rebounding, more block shots. That's what's going to happen. He's going to get more wins. most importantly, he's going to get more wins. He's going to be having fun, smiling. What's going on right now is unacceptable, and I'm working on actually a petition. A
To get him
Bring
fired?
Phil Jackson, the Zen Master, back petition.
Donate $1 to the cause.
I want all my listeners to listen real closely. We're going to put out a petition. Phil Jackson, we want Phil back petition. I want everyone to sign it. I want to see how many signatures we can get.
Can we also do one, get rid of Jim Buss?
Well, he's the cause of this, apparently. So, I mean, who do we got? We got Cleveland on Tuesday. What do you think? Cleveland on the road. We start a road trip on Tuesday.
If we can't beat Cleveland, then we're not a team. We're embarrassing. We're the last.
We're embarrassing as it is. We just lost to the Utah Jazz
Yes,
at
we did.
home,
And Houston.
117.
I know.
We lost to Houston. This is embarrassing.
The
We're 9-12.
Thunder.
Now it's getting serious. We were 0-1. We were 1-4. Ha ha ha.
I'm not seeing as many Laker flags fly around on cars right now. I'll tell you that.
The Laker Nation is strong, but the Laker Nation is upset.
They're very upset.
Okay, so
We did have some non-football basketball sports. We had a little action, little fights going on this weekend.
there's a fight this weekend?
There was a big boxing match going on. Manny Pacquiao, Pac-Man versus Marquez for the fourth time.
I felt that.
Did you see all over everywhere just a picture of Manny laying on the canvas out?
I did. You can get that picture
KTOF, dude.
on our Facebook page.
KTOF.
Manny Pacquiao, 2 losses in a row. Even though his last loss against Tim Bradley was embarrassing, he won that fight handily, but he didn't get the decision. So I mean, if you leave it up to the judges,
Well, I
you
guess
didn't win it. You didn't win it handily enough.
this should squash all the Floyd Mayweather Pacquiao talk. No one really going to care to see that anymore.
That's embarrassing. They just probably lost $150 million.
I honestly think the more I think about it personally is it's starting to make me think that maybe Mayweather was onto something with Pacquiao doing roids, because he hasn't knocked anybody out in like 6 fights now, and he was just killing everybody, and he just looked angrier. I mean, granted, everybody starts slipping with time, but Pacquiao looks like he really fell off a lot.
A lot of haters on Floyd Mayweather, but that guy's a scientist of boxing. He knows
good.
what's going on. He
pretty
knows
good.
what's going on. So if he had a hunch that Manny Pacquiao was doing steroids, he was probably right.
Yep. Then we also had we had some pretty good UFC fights this weekend. It's funny, they had a free card to help take away people from watching the boxing match. We had Ben Henderson, the lightweight champion, against Nate Diaz. Ben Henderson came out and just dominated the fight, all 5 rounds. Won, I think, 50-45, 50-45, and 50-43, which is unheard of in scoring in MMA to win back that 50-43. We also had a couple of other fights on there. BJ Penn trying to make a big return splash against Rory McDonald, GSP's prodigy. And BJ, I love you, brother.
Rory McDonald.
You got smacked and lit up and just embarrassed out there.
His
Better
time-
fighter.
Father Time.
It's almost like the Tito Ortiz kind of. It seems like they haven't evolved as much as they should have. You think, BJ came in as a dominant jiu-jitsu guy, big heavy hands, and still everyone, at least I think, is that if he wants to be competitive, he has to fight at 155, and he's fighting at 170 because he doesn't want to put in the time and the diet and the training and the running and all the stuff that sucks about fighting.
So lean up and shed the weight and fight at 155.
He likes to fight. He likes to be comfortable. His Hawaiian style. He doesn't want to work like the champions do, like the GSPs. He talks smack on them, saying he does steroids, but GSP is putting in the work with the best trainers in the world, and it shows when he fights. Unlike BJ. So, anybody else in that card that's worth talking about, really? Trujillo was a good fight in there. Trujillo looked bad. This dude was a wrestler and just dominated against a pretty highly touted guy. Gustafsson stopped Ninja Hua, pretty much dominant. So it was a good card overall, though. It was a free card and one of the better cards I've seen in a few months, actually. So
So
Good
I
to
mean, UFC can just put together more better fights than boxing.
Consistently. They just need to start paying some of their higher end fighters at least.
Boxing, they taking the bull by the horn and want to get paid. They want to do the promotion. They want to cut the deals. So I mean, Dana White, if he doesn't open the
they're doing
pocketbooks,
pretty well over there at the UFC. They're not hurting.
they're not
very
hurting.
well.
But these guys are putting in a lot of work and taking a lot of pain.
Yeah.
And they are the show. Other than ring girl, Ariane Celeste.
Love her.
Off the top favorite. So, and for Michael Sperber,
Josh House.
this has been Off the Top.